Thursday, brother. How are you?
Yo, everything's 100. How you doing?
I'm happy to be here. It's a crazy week. I'm like, I have bags under my eyes. That's how tired I am. It's been a very,
Oh, word.
yeah. And I like to get my rest. So when I get bags under my eyes, it tells you how much I ain't sleeping. I like to get my rest.
Hey,
But
what's been cracking? What's been cracking in the week? What's up?
just so much like with adjusting to this new role and trying to zoom into. I got some conferences coming up and some events that happened, and then it's Father's Day this weekend, so I had to negotiate that and go get my Father's Day gifts for everybody, and it's just been a busy
For
week.
everybody. Who's on the list for Father's Day or whatever? What's the everybody? Because Father's Day is one of the most overlooked holidays.
Oh, now there you go, getting the sense of.
Yeah,
Well, first
it
let's
is. It's the most over. Don't nobody Father's Day. They ain't got no. I ain't seen one ad on the TV for Father's Day. No, no ads in the email. It comes in quiet and goes out quiet. They no restaurant specials for Father's Day. Uh,
Well, let's introduce ourselves. Welcome everybody to the Rose Garden. It is the time that my brother and I, my name is Sarita, and that's Xavier, get come in and honor our grandmother with our time. This is our weekly therapy. We hope you enjoy it as well. Um, and uh, Today, poor brother wants to feel like he's not being treated well. So let me tell you something. Have you been out? So this tells me that you have not been out in the community if you have not seen the Father's Day signs. Let me tell you that every
where
market
they at? That I ain't seen
they
nothing.
they
I could walk you around the community here. I ain't seen one Father's
they,
Day sign nowhere. Not
they have
on the Instagram, not on Facebook, not on no SMS message, not on no email. Even the scam and phishing email, I ain't seen nothing for no Father's Day. No.
well, you know what? That tells me your algorithm is messed up. So I don't know what you be doing. You must not be doing right with your algorithm because I saw a lot of Father's Day specials. To include the restaurants, restaurants do have some Father's Day specials, but definitely like things like sneakers, ties, golf, things that men tend to like. They have different sessions. So I went and I shop still for the kids, even though they're adults, so that they make sure they remember their dad. So I get their dad's gift, and then I tell them how to kind of, you know, make sure they know that I got dad a gift and that they need to get a card or do something special for him.
So you get that the gift, right? And then you got to remind them, huh?
No, it's funny because
Yeah. You got to remind them, right? Be real, be real.
the
Let's
little
be
the little
100.
the little girl is coming home this weekend because it's Father's Day, so she wanted to spend time with her father, and then
Okay,
everybody's coming to
okay.
the house, so we don't have to remind. I do think that for Mother's Day, because I'm
Hmm.
such a wonderful mom, you know,
That's what it is, huh?
such a wonderful mom that they love showering me with all these gifts, but they do the same thing for their dad. Um, and I get something for Pop too. I make sure that Pop gets something. So their Pop Up has a gift every Father's Day, and then I try to send out my
Hmm.
Father's Day cards. But y'all always get them late because I just bought them yesterday. I'm sorry, so you'll get yours late, and everybody else that I know, dance. I ain't gonna put it in the mail till tomorrow because I'm working till like 7 tonight. But I try to celebrate all the men in my life because I think being a dad is such an important role, and my
100% it is.
and I know the difference, and I my kids have had the blessing of having a wonderful father. In
Hmm.
fact, it's funny because my husband was the Mr. Mom of the group.
Hmm.
He went to all the sporting events and you know every parent teacher conference because I was opening up a practice, so I had to really invest a lot of my time, and it was him
Hmm.
who did a lot of that day-to-day stuff with raising the kids. So my experience is much
Hmm.
different, and I see the value in like I'll give you a great example. My daughter, she hasn't like I see her step back when her brother or her father are coming just to get the doors opened. Like Sanaya is not reaching out and opening up a door. She ain't pumped no gas. I think if she has to do it by herself, she's losing her mind. she definitely understands that, there's a role for these men in our lives, and she lets them take it and play it. And I see the difference when I
Mhm.
with like out with people who don't have that same influence, like they are so hyper independent. And I'm not. And neither is my daughter. Like I don't want to pump gas, and I haven't in 20 something years. And um I don't want to open the door for myself. I don't want to do some of those things. And so I don't. And my daughter doesn't.
That's a beautiful thing. I mean, I think like you represent the 0.0001% of women that really appreciate men. You know what I mean? And appreciate the role that men play in your life, and you've been able to
Well,
instruct and bring up your daughter in the way of that.
let me
So that's
observe,
good.
because you don't open the
Mm.
door for your dear sister. I gotta beg you to open the door. So, so you want this acknowledgement, but just your dear sister come over. I stand by it. If I don't open the door myself, I ain't getting in the house. It's like a vampire. Am I
What
invited
is
in?
that? I think that's cap.
Am I invited
That's a,
in?
that's all cap. That's all cap. We all know
No,
that.
it
That's
ain't. I
cap.
got it. Listen, and definitely not that boy of yours. I'm like, hey, give me auntie a hug. He's like,
Well, maybe you got some truth in it with him, but definitely not with me though. I would say he's still learning though. He's still a
okay,
pup.
make sure you
Yeah,
train up
he's
the
still
child in
learning.
the way. Make sure you train up the child in the way. Well, the group chat had a lot popping this week because so much was going on, and they couldn't wait to get your perspective, and neither could I. The first one is the bandwagon situation. So, did you follow the championship series?
Yeah, I did. I
And
saw
so
you talking about the NBA.
the NBA championship. So one of my
Yeah.
sorors, diehard Knicks fan, right? Like grew up with the
Mhm.
Knicks. She's a
Mhm.
New Yorker too, so you can just imagine. And I think she's from either
Mhm.
Brooklyn or the Bronx or something. And
Mhm.
very, very New York, right? And so she's getting tired of
Mhm.
all these add-on New York fans. So in the group chat, she said that she thinks there's an integrity issue with the world, and that
I
all of a
feel that.
sudden the Knicks have won, and she has all these people on the Knicks bandwagon, and she's saying there's an integrity. She has said that these are people are equivalent to cheaters, and that she no longer she can't discern because of all the Nick energy who's a true Knicks fan and who's an actual cheater. So we want to get your perspective on that with all these
I man,
bandwagon.
I honestly agree with her perspective on that. To be real with you, but I'm gonna say like our father I think was what he called like a knickerbocker or whatever. You know what I mean? But salute to all the Knicks fans for real. It was they did good. They pulled out from uh,
From behind,
a deficit
mhm,
behind in the last two games I think.
right?
But that was impressive. I thought a couple of the games, I thought it was a wrap for them, and
Actually, I went to
I come
sleep
back and
on.
I'm like, damn, they won.
Yeah, I can't. Now that I watched the Knicks, I know I can't go to bed in the third quarter. I actually got to finish the whole game. But yeah, I went to sleep on
Word
them a
up.
couple of times, and then they would come back. It showed me a couple of things though about the human spirit. One, what I said in my message in the group chat, which I'm always a minority voice because they like to fight,
Mhm.
is that
Mhm.
people like to be around winners. And so when
Mhm.
someone is
Mhm.
winning that's in close proximity, like where we live isn't too far from New York, you
Mhm.
want to be associated with them. And our, the whole
Mhm.
team here isn't winning. So it makes sense to now everybody's gonna be, buying all the Knicks caps. And so I think it's not necessarily an integrity issue. It's just how people want to be associated with the latest, greatest thing. So it's like how I was remember when Meghan Markle wore some shoes, and
Mhm.
those shoes came across my feed because my feed is a good feed. I get shopping feeds, and I don't know what's going on. But anyway, and those shoes have been sold out since that girl wore them on her feet. Like you can't buy them anywhere. And I'm like,
What
it's
kind of shoes were they?
they were espadrilles. She wore them at
I
this
don't even know
tennis.
what that is.
I'm very glad that you don't, because this is another thing. In my new role, this is how I
Mhm.
know I'm going everywhere, all over the country, meeting all kinds of
Mhm.
people. And
Mhm.
when the men know that I have a pixie cut and they know the brand
Mhm.
of my shoes, I
Mhm.
always also know that they don't have wives. I'm like, either you
Why
have
why
a
oh,
husband
because they know that stuff?
or you're single, you know? Uh, because
Oh, they might
they
not be, what quote unquote, "a real man" then, huh? Is what you
maybe
saying,
they
huh?
they may be homosexual or they don't they're single because married men that I come across normally don't say, "Ooh, that pixie is banging da 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 da," or comment on my shoes. But I am telling you, I get shoe comments and I get hair comments from, interestingly, from men who I'm like, they don't have no rings on, and some of them I know are openly gay, like they're openly gay, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that makes sense then, cause I don't know no man that know what a pixie cut is. I think the man be like, "Oh, yeah, she got that, like, Halle Berry joint," or, yeah, yeah.
Well, now I've
Yeah.
educated you. It is called a pixie.
I
And if
don't want that
somebody,
kind of education.
well, listen, that's how you know there's little codes that are being violated here,
100.
that I'm like, oh, okay, the pixie. And I'm talking about like people of the, I was in coming off the plane in Atlanta and I had just got my hair done. And the dude was like,
Mhm.
oh, that's a cut. That is a cut.
Oh,
That
yeah,
pixie.
yeah. Well, Atlanta, that's where I hear it be going down at. So I ain't surprised. You know what I mean? I ain't surprised.
Now you better stop. You know what, brother? They walk among you. They're everywhere. Okay, so
True, true, true,
it's
true,
it's not in one
true.
place. It's not in one place. And I think people are becoming more open because I'm meeting young people now that they don't want to be labeled in any kind of way. They won't, they want to be asexual, this sexual. So it's almost like I have no idea what's happening. So I think the world is expanding in a different way. So
Mhm,
you'll
mhm.
but those are little clues. I'm like, oh, okay. So because I've never had so many men talk to my about my pixie and like call it a pixie. You rocking a pixie, and I'm like,
Mm.
I said, so either you don't have a wife or, you know,
Yeah, it's an unprecedented time. I mean, I
yeah,
think like the way of the real man is like they say, it's like last of a dying breed, you know.
I what I wish you would do is really start teaching on this because the integrity piece was where we started in this conversation. All these I see
Mhm.
all these real men, quote unquote, that's jumping on the bandwagon. And according to my dear friend in the group chat, that those people lack integrity, and that's how she's labeling them cheaters. So you didn't have much to say about that. That
No,
integrity.
I think that I think I'm in alignment with the way she's viewing that. I think definitely too. Integrity is a masculine trait. It's a quality associated to a man. You know what I mean? Because
Did
I
you
because
hear
I
the
think that
misogyny in your comment?
how is it that because I'm saying something to reinforce a good quality in a man that it got to be misogynistic?
Because that isn't that a
Because
human
I love
quality?
I love I love I love I love women dearly, but no, integrity ain't no. All right, first off,
How
right?
do you know you
We got
love
to be
women dearly?
we
Tell
had
me
to
what
we
that
had to
does.
we had to be we had to be honest. we
'Cause you don't open no
we
doors. I
we
gotta be let
we
in. I gotta
I
ask
do, I
permission.
do, I do open doors and all that stuff. So I think you be having creative amnesia, but you ain't expecting the door to open from me. You looking at for that from your man.
I'm
That's why
talking about
when
all
I had
doors.
that door wide open, and you'd be like, "Oh, I don't even see that door open. I'm waiting for my man to open this door up for me, or whatever." That's
But
what you
you just
looking
make
for.
sure you continue to do this. This is a lesson. And listen, for all the because
Mhm,
the problem is this is what I've always deduced for you. It has not been
mhm.
difficult for you to date. Like so you don't have to do a lot of chasing, which is very interesting
All
being
six
this.
twelve, all the niggas from the hood has been like that. You know, the place I came from, it wasn't hard from none of
Boy, y'all butter your own biscuits. Now, let me tell you something. Y'all butter your own biscuits. You don't even need a waitress or a server. You just this thing just coming. I will tell you, I got eyes, and I'm from 612. I don't claim it like you do. Good Lord, you
Yeah,
entrenched
you
in
from it? Yeah, you 612. That. what they call it, a 6 a dead, whatever the hell it is. But yeah, you from
I
612
claim
too.
none of
For
that.
sure.
I am far, far away from Germany. And I will say, some of those people in that troop, in that brownie troop, in that crazy brigade, certainly had to work for girls. Certainly.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think
See, look
it
at the
was really.
generosity. Look at the generosity. Look at the generosity. Look at the
It's
generosity.
a lot of things
You
just
and
fall into your
Halim were
lap. You know what I mean?
listen. You and Halim were exceptionally attractive young boys. Okay, and people, I can only tell what I recall. What I could not bring a female to my home. Could I?
But that tell you about the female integrity, right?
Lord, Lord have mercy. You could have said no.
see,
No,
see,
so are you telling me you
I'm
a
gonna
big
tell you.
prize? You
Let
a
me
big
ask you this question. Let me give you an analogy on what you said about you could have said no on something like that, right? So you're a big avid ticket player, right?
very
Lottery player,
avid.
right?
Yes, believe
All
in
right.
love.
So if you know you got a winning lottery ticket, are you gonna pass up on it? Would you pass up on it?
Absolutely not.
Yes
But
or
you
no?
never, you
Well,
never know
you
you
know
have
what?
a
Tell me
winning
why though.
lottery.
Tell me why you wouldn't though.
Because then I would have been something that no one else could have done. It's almost magical that it was.
100 because it's very rare that lottery ticket. So that's how it is when a female fall into a man lap. It's really difficult to say no to that because in the grand scheme of things, it don't normally happen. It's just like hitting the lottery for real, for real.
Okay, so if
Seriously.
okay, so
So,
so taking your
but
same
y'all don't
logic.
appreciate that. Y'all don't appreciate that because for y'all, it's like going outside and picking up a blade of grass. You know what I mean? You can dick off is coming from every which way and direction, and females know that. I think like even the ugly ones is like, oh, I know where to get dick. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, somebody giving you some. I'm like, I'm like, from the way I'm seeing it, I was like, I thought you might have a problem. Like you might know where we coming from, but it ain't even hard for them. You know what I mean? But for us, you know, y'all be thinking like, damn, you could have said no, but it's like turning in a lottery ticket.
Okay, so
You
let me
know what
say
I mean?
this. So a lottery
Yeah.
ticket happens 1 in 200, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
right? How many
Mm-hmm.
times? And I want you to raise your hands. Put your hands up like this so we can see your fingers and your thumbs. Like this. Do it. Do it. Do it for the people. How
Like
many
this.
times did that happen before I graduated high school? Put your fingers down if it fills up both of them hands.
Okay. Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, but
So you didn't get
I've
the
been on.
lottery.
I got the scratch off lottery joints. You know what I mean? Like you get a better percentage with the scratch off joints than the mega ones. You know what I mean? So I just happened to get a couple of wins on the scratch off, but it's
Uh,
still rare. You know what I
it
mean?
wasn't rare. It wasn't rare. If by the time before I graduated high school, your hands could fall and your
Exactly.
toes could fold under, and you could tuck your twiggy. And this is when you had hair. Okay. Then you showed up at my place with bald head, and then it became, oh my God, your brother. What's wrong with your brother? So come on now. You could have said no, and you didn't because this is the and
Cause it's lottery. I hit the little the scratch off lottery. I cashed it in.
but then that
Hey,
means you
any wise
devalue
man gonna
the
cash it in.
prize.
You got to cash it in. You know what I mean?
Then
Gotta get them couple dollars back. You know
then
what I mean?
you devalued so you're an avid gambler and you devalued the prize. So you didn't see, when I hit my lottery, I have a whole kind of system, right? It's life
Mhm.
changing. Never will I have to hit the lottery again. You are a very irresponsible gambler. Well, you have to just keep hitting the lottery, keep hitting the lottery, keep
Well,
hitting the lottery.
you heard what our producer said. Like those are small wins, you know, and they cheaper. You know what I mean? You can't even you can't even share some of them lottery wins. You know what I mean? They
Well,
like
see, this is
you just get your money back. You know, you just get
this is
you
the
breaking
benefit
even.
of you getting having two men in the establishment. Two men who I would argue have not had to work for females. Am I right? Am I right?
I would not. I don't find no fault in your logic so far.
Okay, so let's
Yeah.
talk to someone who didn't, by the time their sister got out of high school, have girls just falling in their lap. What value do they give even to the ones that probably didn't have as much, you know, confidence or, beauty? What value did they give to them? And then if you look at those relationships, how do those relationships stand up to the relationships that the people who are like you, that everybody falls in your lap? How have you valued those relationships over time? So I would argue the people who have to work harder to really establish relationships, look for character, doesn't just fall in their lap, don't have the trouble with intimacy, select good partners, not the ones that y'all are low hanging fruiters. That's what I call you.
But what's the trouble with intimacy part? What's that part?
So that
What's
part
the
is
because I think
staying in
that comes from,
relationships
don't
and
you
being vulnerable in them.
don't that come from like the traumas though?
Well, it could,
Like
but it also
when a
could come
person
from the
comes from,
chase. It could come from the chase.
well,
I
let's just say, like, what would this do to a girl, right? If her very first encounter, intimately with a partner, with a boyfriend or something, and then she find out, man, he really just community, toss around, right? You know what I mean? What does
Mhm.
that do in terms of setting the stage and pattern for anything in the future? Like, I
What
think
does toss around mean again?
you don't know what
Are
toss
is
around
the
mean.
man the toss around or the girl?
you know, when we grew up, we used to have like the libraries, right? And when you went to the library, you had those books, and you could tell like how many times the book was checked out because it had the little card in the back. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
You remember that? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then some of them books, you could tell by looking at the book, it been checked out a lot because it might have some pencil marks in that joint. It's got raggedy on the front and the back cover,
The best
and
book.
but when you look at the damn how many times that joint been checked out, you like, God damn. You know what I mean? But let's just say, in this environment, this library of books, we could make the woman be an analogy of the book. If you stumble
Mhm.
upon a book that's but you didn't check the library card in the back, right? You think you got a pristine book, the cover looked nice, everything, all this. And then, you think you got something. You hold the book, then the library want the book back. They calling you about to put the charges on the book or whatever. You take the book back and you see like, God damn, this book been checked out a million times. I thought I was like the first and only one to check the book out. You know what I mean? Yeah. And when
Oh,
you
I hear
realize that, when you have that type of experience, especially early on, you don't think that creates like a set of stage, like a traumatic thing in terms of intimacy and stuff?
Well, let me say this. Why does what someone has done in the past matter in the present?
And you don't think that that the past is an
No, answer
indicator
that
of
question.
a president? Well, I mean,
We're not the
let's
same
just say this,
people.
right? If a person, it does, like, the past is definitely kind of an indicator of present and future. Because let's just say,
How?
for instance, if
You're not the same
if you the
person you
type of
were.
person, no, but that's because if you want to learn lessons, right? But there's
Mhm.
some hard headed people, right? Let's just say if you see somebody and they missing all their teeth or whatever. They missing their teeth because they keep walking in the same, in the woods, and they keep letting that same branch hit them in the mouth, right? And they don't
Mhm.
learn their lesson because they keep hitting that same exact branch that's in the same exact location. They
Right.
keep doing it over and over and over. But metaphorically, that happens with people because someone was just telling me about a dude in our age, that just got caught up on something, right? And you'd be
Mhm.
thinking like, damn, man, you still doing that stuff, and you like 40, 50 years old, man, like, you know this, but
Mhm.
that you don't really got those type of chances anymore to be playing with your future. So I'm just saying all that to say to you, yeah, the past is an indicator of the future for sure. That's why it is so important. That's why people look at your resume and all this stuff. They trying to see how long you be staying in the job. What people say, about you in that job. It definitely is. And let's say if you it's a pattern behavior, that's right.
Okay,
And then
let's
if
say
you
this.
have a
So if
the
you believe
mhm,
that, right? Then what do
mhm.
you do with your own behavior that's repetitive and reinforcing? So we talked last week about choosing partners,
Right, right, right.
and we talked about choosing partners with more than 24 hour of experience with them.
Well, it's funny. I think like women,
I like
another
to
thing
laugh.
that's a woman, a female trait to me is how critical women are on men and and the thing that a man is supposed to do is being resolute in his decision making process. So rightfully, you hold a man accountable for that because you say,
Hold them
"Well,
accountable.
what about your choices and stuff?" But it's crazy though because if you put a woman in that same situation, even I'm digressing a little bit. I'm gonna come back to this path, but I had a conversation with a woman, and she was telling me a trauma story. Right?
Okay.
Basically, she was trying to say like all women have been sexually assaulted in these ways, and she was sharing with me a story of how she considered this to be an assault, and I was thinking to myself, uh, that don't sound like no assault. That sounds like a whole lot of bad decisions. Like for instance, I went to a house party with a friend of mine. We go
Mhm,
there and we popping pills and getting high and drinking and doing all kinds of stuff. My
mhm,
friend is ready to leave. I tell her to go ahead and leave me here because she likes the guy there, the guy that's throwing the party, right? She want to be with this dude. So now, inside of the party with people drinking, drugging, doing all this stuff, you start doing the sexual thing with the dude inside the party, right?
mhm,
And then now all of a sudden in the middle of you doing this sexual thing with the dude inside the party, as his homeboy come in. Next thing you know, it's him and his homeboy. And you consider and after that, right, you make no indication of this being a problem, right? And after that next day you go hang out with them, eat and do all this stuff. But it only becomes a problem when now you see like the dude that you really like ain't really trying to mess with you like that. Right. Now this becomes like a sexual assault. But I look at that and I say, that's a whole string of bad decisions. Now going back to and when I say that, the girl get all mad at me talking about you victim blaming. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
let's
I
talk about that for a second. You are
Mhm,
right in the sense that the decisions that were made led up to a negative encounter. I think what
mhm.
the other part about that is that there's no honoring of what that person's choice was, and that's what I think she's mentioning is that
But
that
see,
was
but
not
then how
her
come
choice.
it's not that way with men then? Do you
Well,
honor
I
my
think
choice that
I
I try even if it's a 24-hour thing. I got this lottery ticket, you know what I mean? It's a scratch off joint, you know what I mean? But who knows? I'm excited that I got a scratch off win, right? And
right.
now I done stumbled on something. Does my choice of this get honored? Or do you look at it and you say, well, you chose wrong. Why you keep making these choices in this type of way?
Well, let me ask you
Like
this: when you look
in
at
this
your
way, men
lottery
ain't held to the same standard. You know what I
when
mean?
we're holding, I think the standards are the same. When you look at the lottery tickets that you've just been so fortunate to have come in your life, you're such a you're a really great gambler. I need to hang out with you far more. Which of those tickets do you even remember and want to bring closer into your life to have more of?
I remember all of the lottery tickets, whatever. Yeah, but I wouldn't say,
Y'all are lying.
once you
Now you know what? Now you're lying. Now I can't. Now we can't. Now you're
no, I'm
telling me
being serious.
you
I'm
can
being so
remember
serious.
all the
I'm being
lottery
serious.
tickets.
I'm gonna tell you on the real. You know,
If they
the
walk
reason
past you
why
in the street right now,
the reason why there's a notch on the bedpost, right? Like a female become a notch on the bedpost, is because you can file that experience and that memory away. You know what I mean? And you can bring that, but that's why they say biblically, it's like you knew her. I know her in a certain type of level higher than I know any other women that not like that. But I can always bring that memory back out. You know what I mean?
that's a shame.
So if I get there, I definitely have etched that on the bedpost. And I definitely remember, no
Do
doubt
you
about it.
value it though? Do you value it?
You know, I value what actually does have value. You know what I'm saying? So there's some joints that definitely have value, and I think like the value is something that's placed on
What do you mean? What
far
actually
more than
has
the
value?
physical.
That is
Because
not
I
an
think like,
answer.
all right, so women, when you ask a man, when you evaluate the man on his value, it's based on his utility. You know what he can do for you. He can
That's not
provide for you, he
true.
can
That's
protect.
not
Whatever.
true.
Most of the
How it
time,
makes
it is
you
that
feel
way.
too.
Most of the time, it's his utility. You know what I'm saying? Is
You are
when you
wrong.
evaluate the man.
That's the problem because a lot of women don't need men to do all this
You
stuff.
just said you need to do to open
I
the
said
door, pump the
I do.
gas.
I
You
said
just said
I
so.
do.
So that's you.
I
That's
do.
utility. That's
Let me
utility.
say
So
this.
what I'm trying to
I've
say,
been
hell
married.
yeah.
I've been with my partner almost 30 years. That's the
Hmm.
what we have conditioned. Think about the new, like the girls in this group chat, they're either divorced or been single. They're not looking for a man. Like it's
They finished. It's a
listen,
wrap for them. They
listen,
just finished.
it's funny.
They done.
You've written them all off.
They missed their opportunity. They should they like the 30
Well, how,
years ago
well, what
when
about
they had that
you?
opportunity. They should. Well,
You know what? This brings up another point. This brings up
I might
another.
be I might be finished too. I might
You're
be finished. I
finished.
might be
You're
done
finished.
too. But it's
You're all
cool because like you said, I got a good luck with scratches. as long as long as God continue to bless me with the scratch off, I'm good. You know what I mean?
well,
But
okay.
they,
We're gonna move past the scenario.
that's
Horrible.
right.
So listen, another issue came up in the group chat that we want to get your take on. So, wonderful woman meets wonderful
Hmm.
guy. Okay,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
what happened is
Hmm.
just the joy of being in relationships. This person felt loved, honored, valued. Uh, she picked up 30 pounds in the course of their relationship.
Damn, 30 pounds.
And
God
so
damn.
so fast forward to a few weeks ago, he comes home and says, now these are people they were about to get married and or they talked about marriage. No ring was ever involved, but that was they had met their person. And he looked at her and said, I'm no longer attracted to you, and she I will say 30 pounds is not 30 pounds at this age in particular is not a small amount of weight to gain. um,
Nah, that's a lot.
it's a
That's a
lot.
lot of
It's
weight.
a noticeable. I
Mhm.
would say I noticed it too, but
Mhm.
she was so happy that she looked beautiful, and so this is an absolute crushing experience because she's like, I thought one size doesn't really, doesn't fit all. Like I'm not supposed to stay skinny when I got a man that's keeping me warm and I'm keeping him warm.
Oh,
And
it's there wrong. It's there. See, in this way, right? I know women always think that they are the value. Like right now, like if that pop the balloon shit, all this stuff that we
Mhm,
see,
mhm.
and the woman say, you know, a man might be like, "What value you bringing to the table?" And she says, "I'm bringing me." You be like, "What the fuck does that mean? What's me?" You know what I mean? What do you mean with me? You know what I mean? But but then I say they don't really know their true value if they saying that. But one part of the value you bringing me though is staying in the range of the standard of attractiveness. You know what I mean? That is a big factor. That
Well,
definitely has
how
to
does
be there.
I can only speak from personal experience. Okay, again,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
what's
yeah.
interesting to me is just how shallow that partner of hers was, in the sense that, uh, I mean, I've been your sister my entire life.
I don't think that boo
That's
that
a
is
shallow
shallow
partner.
because it ain't that ain't
People go
shallow.
up and down in weight for various things. Not even that they get, like
Y'all
you
see how
had
critical
hair.
y'all are on this
Listen,
man
think
on
about
this
this.
man.
Think about
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
If you were with your partner for 20 something years, you would have had hair when that person met you. You no longer do, right? So, like, if we're gonna just start to reduce relationships,
There you go. Yeah,
This
but
is
I ain't 30. I
what
ain't put
if
on
you
30
date a woman
pounds and
that
stuff
doesn't
like
like
that.
bald-headed men?
But if she don't, then we just all
You're
bets
not hitting
off.
the,
You
you're
know
not
what I
hitting
mean?
the scratch offs. You ain't hitting the scratch offs, huh?
Well, look,
Right.
this is what I'm trying to say. If the woman basically, if that's her standard, right? Like, let's say she wanted a dude that got a whole rack of hair or whatever, and I don't like to grow my hair out and stuff. Then we missing each other. Cause like I would know. Let's just say right now if we go somewhere and some dude got some hair like she like, I'm gonna be looking at that nigga like I know she got her eyes on this motherfucker. Right? She like
But
that right
but
there,
it's,
you
it's
know what I mean?
hard to
So
it's hard to
so
tell you that because you met with hair. And then
but
as the relationship,
no, you should be able to talk to a person about anything. And the person, see, this is the thing. People are, they say love is patient, love is kind, it's not
long suffering.
possessive and all that stuff. Yes, long as so if a person say to you, hey, yo, I ain't attracted to you now. The same way you gained that 30 pound, you can drop it. It's like a blueprint of like if it's within your power, that's within your power to do.
But if
You know what
if
I'm saying?
but then one
Something
would
that ain't within your power. Like if she started losing her hair or something, and he was like, I ain't fucking with you now because you due to no fault of your own, something's happening and I'm not attracted to you anymore. You know
well,
that, but
there's a lot of things happening in the middle age, menopause, and men are
yeah,
getting
yeah.
those things that are happening. So that maybe, and I will say this: when you bun up, this happened when I was in my 20s. Okay, now I was small when I met my husband, but to the
Right.
15 or 20 pounds that I gained were inconsequential, but I still gained them because when you all bunned up and you happy and you're doing all the happy people stuff, it shows, it's reflected in your body.
But guess what happens when you get unhappy? What's the
It
first thing a
shows
woman does?
too. People stop
No,
eating.
you know what she do? She's get to go in the gym. She start getting on that diet. She want to really put herself back on the market then. You know what I mean? But no doubt about it. I would say this, right? I know for you were saying that when you met your husband, the thing about him was, uh, that he was so family oriented. He loved his
Absolutely.
family, whatever. That was the thing that jumped out at you.
Yep.
For him though, the thing that jumped out at you was how attracted he was about you. I mean, he always
You
said
have
that
not
she was the
asked him
most
that.
beautiful. I have asked him. I have
And
asked him.
he said it
And you
was
go
my
you
look.
go home now after this and you ask him, he say it's how she he said, but that was the thing. I was like, what was it about her? Yeah. I said, what was it
What was the
about
big
her
thing? I need to
that
hear what
stood
this
out? He said, she
producer is
was the
saying.
most beautiful woman I've ever seen, is what he said.
Mm.
Now go ask him and see. Now to me now, and that means that when he married you and all this stuff, that moment in time when he caught you, that's what he sees of you.
And you
That's the
still
that's the
when
that's the image in his heart he has of you.
and
Now
I
the
would argue
benefit
that
that
your
you
heart,
the
you start to look at people
no
through
no no
loving
boo
eyes.
the benefit that you have though is that even when you change through the years or whatever, like I told you that notch on the bedpost, he can go back to that and see you that way. He can see you like the first time I saw her, that's how she was looking. And I've had that motherfucker all these years, Now, if some for whatever reason it was that didn't work out between y'all, and you was back on the market, you'd have a hard time because a dude look at you and he'd be like, well, back when that nigga had you, you was a bad motherfucker. Now you got about 40 extra pounds on you and shit like that. You need to get yourself back to that point
Well,
so I can have that pride to be like, I had the best of you than and all that stuff. So that's what these scratch off joints are like right now. They already been cashed in. You get the joint. You ain't even got the dust to scratch off no more. To do like shit. You was a winning joint, but shit, somebody cashed that in. I can't even get a penny out of you now.
you know what?
that's
I'm a
that's
little
the
speechless.
problem.
I'm a little speechless. I think I'm
We
speechless
having
when you
real
said,
talk now. We having real talk. We having real
well,
talk. This is real talk.
I think what you validated for me in the male reaction is that men are visual, and that, and I don't think women have the same visual eyes. Like, because like I said, I've seen a many of people change over the years, to include you, right? Like, to like, you have beautiful, long, thick hair, and you don't now, and you know,
Well, sister,
you
I would
also
just offer
got
this though.
bigger, and then there was a time you were really, really small. I thought you looked like Skeletor, so like you've gone through
Well, I would
different
say this.
versions
So
of
my
you, and I
baseline always
still
stays the same. My
no, but
baseline stays the
you
same.
know what?
And I
It's
would
the
say, like,
heart.
even though we changed, because like to me, like the thing about a man, all right, put it this way. You ask any man, and I guarantee you'll say this, because for you guys, it's more like security, like safety and security is your
I don't
connection
want
with
to
the
see
man.
flabby titties and shit either. Like, stop it, stop it, stop it.
All right,
Some of y'all
I
aging
guarantee.
hard. Some of y'all
So
aging hard.
let me ask you this question. if you had a dude, right, and he was like built like a African god, you know what I mean, like
My husband was an
built
athlete
nice.
when I first met him. He had muscles
All
and
right.
muscles for days. Do you think he has those same muscles and muscles
Well,
now?
I'm just saying, if he had muscles and muscles on top of muscles and stuff, right, and
No.
then a flabby titty nigga come and beat his ass, right, and you saw it in front, and he beat a flabby titty nigga beat your muscle on muscle nigga ass in front of you. Guess what will happen?
What?
You'll look at him and you'll tell that man, the muscle on muscle man, the same thing the girl said. I don't think I'm attracted to you anymore. I done fell out of love with you, sir. Now you ask any woman, and every man know that. They
Well,
know
we,
the
you
kiss
know
of
what?
death is.
I think
They know the kiss. Every man know the kiss of death is. He get his ass whooped in any kind of way in front of his woman, and then she be like, you know what? Every
one.
man know that, and they'll say it to him. Well, you wasn't like that when that nigga was there. You wasn't talking like that when that nigga was doing that and stuff
Well,
like
I
that.
will say
So
this:
every
I
man
would
know
want,
that.
if I had to date now, I would not want a person who is fighting all the time, right? Like,
I know
we need
you.
to be
That I agree with
actualized
that.
enough where we don't need to be
That ain't
walking around
safe.
here fighting.
That ain't
But
safe.
I
That
hear
ain't
your
safe and
point.
secure.
Well,
Yeah,
I hear
yeah.
your point, but I also think there's other ways to make the point. And this individual, can we agree, from the group chat that told this beautiful woman who was cooking and eating with him? Okay, so my first
She should have
question.
been eating so much. Cooking is fine. She made a mistake. No, but I
My
feel for
first
you.
question, my
I
first
feel
question
for
was,
her. I feel for
did he
you.
gain any weight? That was my first question.
And what
And
was
you
the
know what she
answer?
said? She said, I
What?
was looking at him with loving eyes. So nothing, and I know what that looks like because I know.
That's right, bro. That's what that means. Because if he gained weight, she would have been like, "Yeah, hell yeah, that nigga gained like 60 pounds too."
Well, I think men can
Y'all know
also
y'all
gain
critical
weight.
like that.
Men can gain weight and it goes different places. Like, where for women,
Hmm.
we kind of, depending on your size, it goes different places. So I think he may have gained weight and it didn't show up like hers definitely like showed up very prominently. Plus, we're middle aged
For
now.
sure.
So we're
For
changed
sure.
in
For
a way.
sure.
So I think his showed up in different ways, but the shallowness of it all, like, I'm not attracted to you, which I said. And the other thing I said that has some more to do with his own erectile dysfunction than you. And that's what these old
See
men
now,
don't
see
want to talk about.
that's what y'all do first is go hit
That's
it,
what it is. That's what it
go
is.
below the belt. But you don't think I know because I was thinking I,
That's what
I,
y'all need
I was
to
thinking
help your brothers out,
hey,
get your prostates checked.
hey,
You know,
hey, you know what's so
it's
wild?
happening.
It's
It's
like
happening. It's
it's
happening.
like
And then
they
you're
gonna
gonna
hit
say, "Oh,
below the
I'm not
belt on
attracted
that
to you no more."
and say the man's parts ain't working
That
when
it's
they
not.
giving you a eyeball shape to look at. I guarantee you. if you
that
can't
you
feel me,
created. He
you put that
created the
same
tape.
you put that same dude who got this ED with a chick that's fit nice. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you he ain't doing that. He ain't got that problem no more. How much you want to bet?
I bet you that the erectile dysfunction is the main reason why. But instead of him having courage enough to say, I'm going to do X to get myself treated, whatever that does, because there's treatments for erectile dysfunction. He is targeting this young woman's level of confidence and pinning it
look
on.
how y'all tell that
It
story.
is. And
Look
so
how
I
y'all tell
said
that
that. I
story.
said, honey, because listen, nothing has changed. You over there cooking and cleaning and being this man's wife, for lack of a better word.
Man, you ain't telling that woman right. She need to lose
I
some
told
weight.
her right. I said he's got
Hey,
some PD going on, and he don't want to tell you the truth about it.
come to Strive Martial Arts and get on the kickboxing exercise program. You know what I mean? Yeah. And get on the diet program. You know what I mean? So
Make sure you're on it
look,
too. Make
the
sure
nutrition.
make sure you're a model. Make sure we have some models of what the Strive diet program can do for middle-aged men and women.
We'll show you. You go to Strive Martial Arts and you see the instructors and tell me if the males
I need
is
to
not
see them. Put
representing.
pictures up first, and I'll put it in the group chat.
Tell me if they ain't representing.
And they better be
Ain't
recent pictures, not from to listen. I keep getting people sending pictures. This will look like, and that's from like 15 years ago. No, I want to see what you look like yesterday.
Well,
Okay,
in this way, I do, you know, I do feel the females on this because definitely, you know, we held to different standards, right? So a man is held, you know, to a higher standard in the other ways before, you know, the aesthetically pleasing cosmetic stuff, like women definitely held to a high standard, even amongst their own self, like competitively.
Well, thank you. This is such a good place to end our show because, brother, when we get him to admit things, we got to stay there. The group chat's always on fire, and they cannot wait until we do the battle. So we got to get that done in tall order. I'm so thankful for you and Tony each week that y'all come in the Rose Garden and give people some real life lessons. I don't know if we saved any lives. I think you probably pissed the group chat off far more, especially when it came to does one size fit all. You know, and I'm going with the erectile dysfunction because that's really what's happening. We need a show.
Y'all tell yourself whatever story that make you feel good.
If you cared about your brothers, you would talk about that and give them some advice to go to the what's the erectile doctor's name? What they call proctologists? They do good work. They help you. They do corrective action. Y'all all need that corrective action. If you want to stay attractive to women too, instead of trying to break down women because we're not going to be the same size we were in our 20s, and I don't even want to be the same size I was in my 20s. So help your brothers out. Tell them go get their mechanics worked out, just like a car. You need to right. And then maybe we all need to go to Strive, whatever martial arts to get ourselves.
There you go. Get your libido back. You know what I mean?
Right. So thank you for saving some lives today, brother. Thank you for saving some lives.
Then.
Make sure you sharing this for your own sake and theirs as well.
All right. Well, till next time, sister.
Till next time. Bye for now.